What's going on, guys? This is Ryan with Dark Outpost, and with the Emmy nominations coming out yesterday, it's always interesting to look and see how out of touch the Hollywood elites are with what normal people think. And that's one of the ways you can see. You look and see what got the most nominations, you look and see what got snubbed, and you can tell there's a clear difference between what people actually want and what Hollywood wants us to think is good. And Ricky Gervais has also come out in light of the nominations and harken back to his Golden Globe speech, once again roasting Hollywood because he sees through them and knows exactly who they are. Let's start off with that before we start talking about things like The Mandalorian somehow getting nominated for Best Drama. Let's take a look at what Ricky says. Ricky Gervais right here, hashtag Afterlife, which is his show on Netflix, didn't get nominated for an Emmy this year, but this did. Outstanding Live Variety Special, the 77th Annual Golden Globe Awards. That's some conciliation, I guess. So, thanks, Hollywood. Oh, and stop effing kids. Cheers. And then he retweets his monologue that went absolutely viral. You can see this was back in January. Ricky's monologue at this year's Golden Globes has been viewed an estimated 300 million times around the world. That was in January. I'm sure it's skyrocketed since then. And he also goes on to say, thanks for all the love for Afterlife, best fans in the world, and that's what really counts. Now, if you remember at that Golden Globes, we talked about it a little bit after the fact, after he just went off on people. One of the biggest things he said, yeah, he called out some specific people. He said, made some Epstein jokes. He talked about how some actors seem to like their women a little young, things like that. But he also just said this overarching statement. If you do win an award tonight, don't use it as a platform to make a political speech. You're in no position to lecture the public about anything. You know nothing about the real world. Most of you spent less time in school than Greta Thunberg. So if you win, right, come up, accept your little award, thank your agent and your God, and F off. Right, and it was throughout the night he was saying this. He was insulting everybody there, everybody that's a part of this Hollywood elite machine. He didn't hold back, and he's not holding back now with that last little jab, stop effing kids. Now, when we get and we see who was nominated for these things, I mentioned The Mandalorian. I'll get to this in a second. Let's look at the star of the Emmys. Who had the most Emmy nominations? And laughably, it's HBOs Watchmen. Emmy Awards 2020, Watchmen leads the way with 26 nominations. Now, I only watched a couple episodes of this because, quite honestly, it was crap. But there's a reason that it got 26 Emmy nominations. It's because of how it was made and the fact that it was pushing this, let's talk about white supremacy. Let's talk about police brutality. Let's talk about all of these things that Hollywood will eat up. And they did. Despite the fact that nobody watched this show, despite the fact that a second season has effectively been canceled because it was received so poorly, it gets more Emmy nominations than anything else. And that is so telling. HBO's superhero series Watchmen leads the way at this year's Emmy Awards with 26 nominations. The show, which starred Regina King, has been recognized despite plans for a second season being scrapped. That's basically all you need to know. Let's take a look real quick at the ratings for this, just so you can see. So it premiered to less than 8 million viewers. Less than a million viewers. 800,000 people watched it at first, and it continued to drop off a little bit, bumped up for the finale, never even cracked a million. Now you might be saying, well, that's on HBO, people have to pay a little more for that, maybe people aren't watching HBO as much. Let's take a look at Game of Thrones, and I'm not going to look at Game of Thrones Season 8, because that's not a fair comparison. Let's talk about Game of Thrones Season 1 on HBO, when HBO was a smaller platform, much smaller than it is now, after it was built up, large part due to Game of Thrones. 2.2, 2.2, 2.4, 2.4, 2.5, and ended at 3 million viewers for Game of Thrones. Over 3 times the amount that Watchmen has. Yet Watchmen gets 26 Emmy nominations. It's an absolute joke. And knowing that that's a joke, let's go ahead and now take a look at The Mandalorian. The Mandalorian Star Wars series breaks Disney Plus into Emmys with 15 nominations, including surprise Best Drama nod. It is a real surprise that this was nominated for the Best Drama series. It's, by surprising, I mean it's a joke. If you like Mandalorian, that's fine. I'm happy for you. In no way, shape, or form does this show belong in the top drama series of this year. That is a joke. The Mandalorian is full of plot contrivances, plot holes, inconsistencies within tone, character decisions that make zero sense. Part of that may be due to the fact that it was directed by so many different people and their mark is clearly on the show. But either way, there are a lot of problems with this show. There's a lot of people that enjoy it. There's also a lot of people that enjoyed Star Wars The Force Awakens, and we know what that was. That was an empty, bland movie that was full of nostalgia bait and things to make you, ooh, that looks like Star Wars, when in reality, it was just nothing. It was a J.J. Abrams hackfest. Now, I do think The Mandalorian has some potential going forward, but it is a joke that is up for Best Drama along with some of these things. It cannot stand next to Ozark. I've binge watched the hell out of Ozark. I love Ozark. It is a great show. Better Call Saul, I didn't watch any of this year, I'll admit. Stranger Things, it's not necessarily my cup of tea, but it is a good show. The Handmaid's Tale is a perennial nomination now at this point. The Crown is a quality show. Again, maybe not for everybody, maybe a little boring for your taste. But The Mandalorian looks like a joke next to these things, to be quite honest with you. It really does. It's a joke that it's up there. It should not have been nominated for Best Drama. Now, when you look at some of these other nominations that it receives, 15 is a lot. It's more than just for Outstanding Drama. That's the thing that it's not deserving of at all. Everything else, when you're talking about effects, when you're talking about how it was made, when you're talking about sound, when you're talking about costume design, things like that, I do think The Mandalorian is very worthy of receiving, to be quite honest, because they were revolutionary in a lot of ways when they made this show, the technology they used to make this show. Outstanding Drama is just an absolute joke, and it tells you where Hollywood's at, especially when you see who was snubbed. The Emmys failed to toss a coin to The Witcher. Not a single nomination for The Witcher. Now, I don't think Witcher's the best show in the world. I don't necessarily think it should be up there for Outstanding Drama Series. Should probably be there before Mandalorian, that's for damn sure. But nothing, not a single nomination for Henry Cavill's Witcher. Not even toss a coin to your Witcher. They can't even get the song in there. That is an absolute joke. It shows you what a joke the Emmys are. The fact that The Witcher doesn't get a single nomination. The Mandalorian gets 15, including Best Drama. Watchmen, a show that nobody wants, that nobody likes, except Hollywood elites, gets 26 nominations. Ricky Gervais is right. These people don't matter. These things don't matter. They are an absolute joke. And it was good to see him call them out. What do you think about some of these nominations? Do you think I'm being too harsh on Mandalorian? Is it the best? Do you think it should be nominated for Best Drama of the Year? Because personally, I think that's an absolute joke. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Make sure you smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I will talk to you later. Thanks for watching, everyone. And a huge shout out to my patrons. I appreciate you guys so much. Want to follow me on Twitter or Instagram? Check out the description below. You'll find links to my P.O. box and my Patreon as well. And I'll talk to you guys later.